We have just assorted like Andrew McCubbin stuff. We have like this with a cigar on it.
We're showing
and
off
then,
the keys.
What?
I don't know. Maybe we're worried about his salvation. And then
goodness.
Trying to have
he
a
left
dart
me
break?
a quarter.
Actually, that was my quarter.
Ooh.
Well,
Every penny counts.
what is it? The mounds?
But it's a quarter.
Here you go.
Sorry.
And then this thing.
Ooh.
You bear witness that this was here.
I just hope it has like a good like side profile shot.
Say that into the mic.
Yeah, I'm sure it's gonna look good.
You can edit that one out.
Wow.
I'm sure it's gonna look
Yeah.
good on you. How's everyone doing?
Doing good.
Very good.
Amazing.
Excited.
So,
Per usual.
so the way we usually start this out, we go around the table.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, welcome to Hope You See Discipleship School podcast. We gotta get a theme song.
We do. We got to work on that.
Okay, I'll work on that. I'll work on this.
But not like that.
Let's do that on the next episode.
Okay.
To be
Instead
honest.
of my sermon,
yeah.
I'll
Okay.
do that.
Okay. Yeah. So usually we kind of go around. We do the whole like, who are you? Fun fact about yourself. All that jazz.
I
So,
forgot my fun fact.
which way do you guys want to go? You want to start with Seth Beachy or?
No.
Yeah, let's start with Seth.
Yeah, let's start with
You want to
Seth.
start with Dean?
No, we want to start with Seth.
All right, Seth. We'll start with you. The fear in Dean's eyes make me want to start with him.
Yeah, let's talk about
We're
Dean.
gonna, okay,
Dean.
let's go.
My guy.
Okay.
But
What's
I gotta think
up?
of a fun fact.
yeah. What? So who?
I know,
Yeah.
it's
Who?
okay.
Who are you? Where are you from? How old are you? And then what's a
Okay.
fun fact
Wow,
about
we're
you?
giving away
Okay.
all the information.
So my name.
Where can they find you on your address? No, I'm just kidding.
You gotta. Yeah. So my name's Seth Beachy. I'm from Centerville, Tennessee.
Hi, Seth.
And what was the other thing I have to do?
How old are you?
I'm 22 years old. And
Whoa.
Wow.
Fun
You're
fact.
old.
Fun fact about myself is, I used to play volleyball.
You said
I thought you still played volleyball.
No,
Is that a
No.
recent
Not really.
change?
You're done. You're retired.
I'm washed up.
22 years
Yeah,
old.
I used to be kind of good.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
Nice.
Well, that's good. Okay. Next.
Yeah. My name is Madalyn Byrum. I am 21 years old. I am from Spring Hill, Tennessee. And a fun fact about me is that I could not decide a fun fact because I have a lot. So I'm going to throw three
Weak.
quick ones for you. Sorry that I have an exciting life.
Wow.
Spring Hill has
Sorry
a
that
little
it's
bit more.
jam-packed full of awesomeness.
There's a little bit more going on in Spring Hill than Centerville. So
Shots
Ooh,
fired.
whoa.
Well, it's not like I
Okay.
don't live here.
Yeah, you do live here.
You do live here.
So
now.
my three
Yeah.
quick fun facts.
Okay.
One is that I was in an official Lego video when I was about, I think, 7. Also, I once did the Harlem Shake
Is
in a
this worrying
Chewbacca
you?
costume.
No, not at all.
I did the Harlem Shake in a Chewbacca costume in front of 4,000 people.
Whoa.
And then the third fun fact is that Robert Plant,
Thanks.
the lead singer of Led Zeppelin, actually taught me how to change tires. Boom.
Those are
Dang.
fun. Those are fun facts.
I would drop the mic, but it's on a stand.
All right.
Dang.
Our friend Dean Gray.
Yeah, I'm Dean Gray. I have lived in Middle Tennessee all my life. I'm 19. These old people out here.
I feel
My
so
joints are
old.
okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Yes.
Mine aren't.
Fun fact about me.
It's about time we
I
get Dean
have
on
a
a mic.
lot of fun facts. It's hard to pick one.
We found out you have a secret fun facts.
I do have a lot of secret fun facts that we aren't going to talk about.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'll go for fun fact of I like to draw.
Yeah, you're really
Which is
good at.
very
Actually, if we can, I don't know if this is gonna show up, but that sticker right there, that's a Dean Gray design.
Yep. Dustin
Here,
Smith.
Andrew, there you go.
Well, technically, God
Boom.
designed Dustin, but then Dean designed the sticker.
Yeah. What? Like that?
Valid
That's good.
facts.
There we go. Oh, there it is. That's a Dean
There it
Gray
is.
design. Also, big shout out to Andrew McCubbins, who's behind the. Yeah,
Let's go.
we just love him.
Also
Snaps.
for helping
Applause
me air out my
meter.
tire. You're the goat.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I also think we need to just like clear up the elephant in the room,
Mhm.
and that's that Maddie is obviously using notes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Needs to
I
be
like
addressed.
to be prepared.
Her sermon isn't ready.
yeah.
but-
So if she says things that are like alarmingly profound, we know she ChatGPT'd
Okay,
it.
that is not true. My notes contain quotes from people throughout the week that I have been kind of sitting on. I
So
sometimes
intentional.
lose my words in the moment, so I wanted to
love
have
that.
it down.
Dang.
Wow. That's
What would we
very
do without
prepared.
her?
That's cool. Awesome. Well, now that you introduced yourselves, you know, this is where we're at. So one thing that we've been doing is just what was your highlight of the week? So we're in the month of communication. I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Rick White. I run the discipleship school at Hope UC, and just overall, just think these guys are awesome. And I've so struggled with fun facts.
Same.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think my fun fact is I just started saying that in faith. There's no, I don't have one. My fun fact is that I grew up in Connecticut.
Dang.
And now I've lived here for the last 10 years. So please,
Wow.
yeah, if you're
Is that a fun
if you're
fact?
from Connecticut, there's hope for you. You can come here, and it's just as cold here as it is there right now. So, but I mean, it's kind of fun.
I don't know.
Original 13 colonies, you know. So what we've been doing in this segment, is just the highlight of the week. So like, what stood out to you this week? We're in the month of communication, so we're doing all kinds of crazy stuff, from learning how to communicate with one another, with the Lord, doing our sermons. So what was a highlight from the week? We don't necessarily need to go in back in order, but you know, whoever wants to roll.
I mean, it was a rough week for me with like my truck and
Yeah.
having to buy new tires and stuff. I had to miss like a couple classes because of it. But I think my highlight would have been autumn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Why was that? Yeah. Why was that like your
It was
thing?
very interactive, and like we played games, very enjoyable, and at the same time it was like we were practicing something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the truck thing too is like such a big shout out to like, I don't know. We had to have some like good conversations surrounding
Yeah,
that.
it was
right?
good.
Like,
I
so
mean,
yeah, I don't know if you want to explain the background on it. So, cause people
Nah, not
watching right now are probably like, what the heck is going
What
on?
happened to the truck? What's a
Yeah.
truck?
But
yeah.
your tires went flat.
Yeah, pretty much my tires went bad. They've been bad for a minute, so
Yeah.
I was forced into buying a new all four tires.
Yeah. That was rough.
Yep.
It was like a faith decision though. I think
Yeah,
that was
it
like,
was.
I think that's the cool part of it, right? Is it's not
Yeah.
just like, yeah, it's that process of going through like, okay, I was going to say the rubber meets the road.
Oh my goodness.
Barely any rubber.
The steel in your
little bit
case
of
meets the
rubber.
road. But it's kind of that like rubber
Yeah.
meeting the road in the
Yeah.
finance department, right? So
Yeah, like I haven't worked in a long time, so
How long?
yeah, since school started, so like
Wow.
5 months. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
worked on and off, but not consistently.
Yeah.
Nothing that like
Nice.
pays
Yeah.
bills like that.
yeah.
Living on the
Yeah.
edge.
Dean, do you have a job?
Living
No.
on the edge.
That's a
Living
good
on-
question.
Yeah.
You
What?
don't have a job?
No.
No job.
I love how mysterious Dean is.
I know.
We're
I have no
"That's a
idea."
good- that's a good question. He is 19. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's cool. Well, that's.
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool that it was. Well, one, the truck obviously was a low light, but I think like seeing God working in the midst of that.
Yeah,
is-
it was good in the midst,
yeah.
but the bank account hurts.
Yeah. Much smoother now, right?
Oh yeah, way smoother. I love it now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Yeah, Seth has like a sweet truck, so it's like
Mhm.
lifted and blue, and so the sad part of having a sweet truck with awesome rims on it is that the tires actually
Yeah.
cost so much money.
A lot. Yeah,
Yeah. So
dude, everything in that truck. It's a money taker.
yeah. All right, Maddie, highlight of the
Yes.
week, just to like roll over. Yeah.
Yeah. I've actually really enjoyed sermon prep.
Thanks.
I think it's really fun learning how to communicate ideas effectively
Yeah.
and just getting to put that into practice. I love writing, so I'm nerding out a little bit. I know I haven't finished it, but I get a little too in
But
the
she does
details.
have notes for the
yeah.
podcast.
Yeah, she does
Mhm.
know
She is prepared for the
exact
podcast.
thing that she's done with it. So
I do not.
because you have like the intro and the
Yes.
Yeah.
I've gotten up to. I have my points laid out. I just have to put a little more into that and my conclusion.
Yeah, that's cool. How was like going over that because you partnered up with Devin today?
Yeah.
How was going over that to the start and stuff and
Yeah. First of all, I love Devin. She's awesome.
yeah.
It was really cool because I was a little unsure about how the flow of it would sound, if it would sound a little too scripted in a sense.
Yeah.
But going through it, I actually really liked how it sounded. It felt very like to the point, detailed, concise. I just need to expand a little bit more, I think.
Yeah.
But I felt pretty good about it.
Was it that who did theirs and it was like 3 minutes?
It was me.
Was that you?
That was
It was very detailed and concise.
It's a 20-minute sermon.
Yeah, I actually heard once that if you can teach a concept to children, that's how you know you really know the concept.
That's right.
And they don't have very great attention spans, so I think I'm doing good.
Yeah. I think I heard Landon McDonald, he said that for every year of life that someone's lived, that's a minute for your sermon. So when he preaches like 6-year-olds, he preaches 6-minute sermons. Oh, that was good. Good principle. All right, Dean,
dang.
what's your highlight?
Truly, I don't know. It was a really slow but good week. As you said, we specifically try to hold back on stuff this week, but I really enjoyed Pastor Dustin coming in on Monday. I really enjoyed Amy and Esteban on Tuesday. That was crazy because we all had to tell a story, and that was
Yeah, I haven't heard it. I would love to hear more about that because I haven't heard anything about it. You know, like I feel like it's funny. Your week's probably been a little bit more laid back, and like I preached this week and had a lot of meetings, and so mine hasn't. So I love.
super busy.
This is like my first time I've gotten to, besides at the end of class and doing our check-in. This is the first time I've gotten to sit down and hear anything about the week. So
That's
what was the.
So
what were
Amy
they
and
doing?
Esteban had us a couple of weeks ago. They asked us to bring in a story that really impacted us, good or bad,
or both.
or both. And so we each told a story, at least one story. Some of us told two, good and bad. And it was really cool seeing insight in different parts of people's life of either good or bad. And I just really enjoyed hearing personal stories and then hearing opinions about it, or like, oh, that really hurt me in this way, or this really brought me up in this way, and seeing how big moments like that structure people is really cool.
Yeah.
I find that really cool.
Yeah, that's right. Were you? I think they've been just such a gift.
Yeah,
Like, so Amy and Esteban are
they're
our pastors here.
amazing.
So I feel like they've been such a gift this month, and
Yeah, they have.
Yeah,
I'm excited for them to keep their. I talked to them, and they're going to be keeping their slot
Yes.
for the
That's
rest of the
awesome.
year. So
Oh, that's gonna be
I'm
so
just
good.
so pumped for that because I feel like they bring that really just human care, love element into what we do. That's cool. So you guys shared personal stories.
yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa, what was that like? What was that like for you guys? Yeah.
I said mine and then I had to go. So I said both my stories and then I walked out. And not because it was emotional, but because I had a call about my tires.
You're like, I had to leave. I had to leave the room because your tires.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I missed like half the stories about people.
Yeah.
Kind of sad.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think in my time here in this school, I have had to practice more vulnerability than I ever had in my life. So it's been really interesting getting to open up about different things and share like my perspectives. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was a little bit unnerving, but it was fun.
Really?
Yeah.
Just because of the depth of the story that you were sharing, or just
100%.
seeing that in other people, or
For me, I love hearing about other people's stories. It's hard for me to open up about things, especially that I'm super passionate about. And that's what I decided to share on, was something I'm super passionate about. So it was a vulnerable moment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How's that been? I think that's kind of been one of the things that we've really, I don't know, challenged this year, pressed into.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Which I think, which I think is, you know, probably even to a lot of people that, someone just came in and out.
Trying to.
Now they can't close the door.
They got the ick and left. Okay.
Just like keeps closing. It's the best.
That's awesome. Who was it? We don't know.
That's the best door ever.
That's great. Our door, dude. Oh, that door. It like doesn't latch, and it's the best when somebody goes in the middle of class or something like that. Because anyone who's trying to have any effort to be quiet is just like, it's like boom,
The funny
boom,
thing.
boom, boom, boom. You know, it's
Well,
like
the funny thing is, to do it right, you just have to lift the door a little bit and push it. And I guess I shouldn't.
You know what? I didn't know that.
I should
Did you know
have
that?
told people that.
All you have to do is push
I feel like you're
Just-
good at closing it.
I got good at it. All you have to do is push it.
You literally
It took
just
me a while.
Thing.
I got good at it.
Practice.
Yeah.
I think
still am.
honestly, the hinge, if it was just like tightened a little bit more, then it probably wouldn't even be a problem.
Okay.
I don't know. You just have to lift it and push it.
But yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
have to lift it.
You don't feel
No,
that?
you don't have to lift
You
it.
just gotta like
just push it.
You just
man. Just do
She's
it.
been lifting it this whole time.
Okay, but I close it without fail every time.
It didn't need it. I was just saying nice things to it. I was like, "Come on, door, go to your home." It wasn't working. So yeah. So I guess getting back before the door issue. Yeah. How's that been? Like, really leaning into the practice of vulnerability. I think even more than that, right? It's like that leaning into the connection with people, right? And we know that it's like that gives us the opportunity to connect with people. So what's that? You know, I don't know if you guys are from backgrounds where that was normal. I'm definitely not. So it's still something I have to, you know, think about, gather up courage for. So what's that been like for you guys?
I would say for me, it's been really interesting. It's way easier for me to be vulnerable with people I really know and are around a lot. And so to try to make it where I'm specifically being vulnerable more often and with people that I know care about me in school, it's really cool. I think it is a really big growing curve that I'm enjoying, even though it did start out very uncomfortably. But I think I am growing to enjoy it and to really be grateful for the people I do have that are close to me.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. I think, where are you going to go?
No, you can go.
Oh,
I think in vulnerability, I have levels.
yeah.
And so at a pretty deep level, I can be vulnerable and be comfortable, but like the very most vulnerable is
Yeah.
like hard for me. But I
Yeah.
can be vulnerable to like a depth where I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And-
think that's
I think Amy and Esteban, they hit the nail on the head, like us sharing like something that meant something to us and like impacted us positively, and something that impacted us negatively.
yeah.
And like, cause like everyone was pretty much tearing up, like sharing, and I was like,
Oh.
wow. And normally don't get that,
Yeah.
so I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
You missed the cry session.
They're definitely much better at that than I am. I'm good at crying individually.
Yeah.
I did that today. So,
Okay.
A little
Yeah.
cry.
Yeah. I did too.
but
Twice.
yeah, they are definitely like the king and queen of
Yeah.
getting people to that
Truly.
point.
Yeah.
They're just like legends there. So,
Yeah.
I think it's been very fun, actually, which you might not expect from me. But we talked about like the emotions chart and which each thing what it boils down to,
Yeah.
what the root is and what the gifting is of each thing. And for me, something I've struggled a lot with was like this apathy. But, you know, we went over that a while back, and learning the other side of that is actually loneliness. So I think with practicing vulnerability, I've had the opportunity to be known in a much deeper way. And so I haven't had to deal with that apathy as much in a lot of aspects of my life, just getting to put this into practice. So it's been very fun for me because that was something I really struggled with for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that's the cool thing as you press into it a little bit more, because it's like you can live a life without a ton of vulnerability, but that also is the fact is you can't be known in the midst of that either. And so, and of course, I think that's so good too, to point out, like, there's definitely levels, and you know, not everyone gets this, like that depth. But I think it's just like having people where, you know, hey, this actually builds a bridge to connection. Like when I can share myself, because they can know me. I think that's like super powerful, and I've seen you guys, like all three of you guys, do that well this year, of kind of like leaning into that. There's definitely been some moments that were challenging with it too, right? It's like, that's part of anything you do for the first time, or you're learning or you're growing, and it always kind of feels uncomfortable, right? So to the next question that we usually go over is what's something that God is transforming inside of you this week? So it's like not the highlight, but something that God, like, what's he working on in you? Not after the vulnerability question.
Dang.
Dean's like,
Went
whoa,
up a
whoa.
level.
Wait, we're all of them this deep?
Yeah.
I agree.
They're all,
You should go back and watch it.
Maybe I should.
They're intense. Yeah. I mean, but yeah. So what's something that God's working on with you, and what's that been like? What's the catalyst been for that? You know, that kind of stuff.
Well, I had a word, I think, early in the week. God gave me a word, and it was pretty much change. True change is going to be uncomfortable. And I shared it with the guys today in like our prayer group. Yeah. Like, we got to like embrace the process and realize true change is going to be uncomfortable. Yeah. And it's going to take us like humbling ourselves. And I'm speaking like personally, like me humbling myself. Yeah. And like putting myself like under authority.
Okay, so just by the way, if you're not watching this, that was like a legend move right there, because you said like we all, and then you were like, and I'm talking about myself, like I gotta humble myself, like that was legend. Okay, I just want to highlight that. So cool.
That was pretty much it. Like I just had that word, and I've been like focusing on that and focusing on myself, and not the people around me, and just like picking up my will and being responsible. Yeah. Like, hey, like I'm in this school, like I need to get out what I like want out of it. Yeah. Because I'm investing like everything into it.
Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah.
It's everything. Even the tires.
Right.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Either one. I mean, we don't have to go in a row, so it's like, I don't know.
I'm processing. This wasn't in my notes.
ChatGPT.
I could pull up ChatGPT.
Nice. Heart transformation looks like.
That is not.
That's not what she did. They're her real notes.
I guess I'll go.
Yeah.
I'll say, for me, something that has been a change in my heart this week is I'm starting in the middle of the sentence. Okay. Pretty much what we've been talking about like all year has kind of finally clicked with loving God over actions, like the relationship with God. I didn't realize pretty much until now how much of a habit it's become of it's only actions to get closer to God. And it really got engraved into my mind when I was younger. That's usually what I would strive for, is like a good, being the best person, being good, acting good, and less on the relationship with the Father. And so I've really, a point that came across yesterday.
Sorry.
That
you're good. That's good.
Nice. That point that really hit me hard, because of course Madison had the question about the Old Testament and New Testament, the difference between that. Yeah. And of course she made me articulate it out loud to her of what my thoughts were. And so
Shout out Madison.
Shout out.
Dean, what do you say, Dean?
For the audience,
Precious
she doesn't
man,
sound
Yeah,
like that.
Dean, no, she doesn't sound like that,
No.
but she's the Dean whisperer. She's always like, I want to hear what Dean
She's
wants.
like, he's
Yeah.
Such a precious man.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Yes. Okay.
So
continue. I was like tearing up before that. Yeah.
But yeah, articulating that out loud of saying the reasons why I believe it to be true, that the Old Testament God is the same as the New Testament God, because of God wanting just a relationship with you,
Yeah.
really struck me hard as it ever had. And so I know I've heard it, it's like, but as Pastor Dustin's been saying, like hearing something over and over can be helpful, and truly it has been helpful. Even though I've heard it, I haven't taken it to heart. And so, and I've personally been like, oh yeah, I really want to get into a better relationship with God, but I put in the good actions, but I don't put in the heart to heart. And so,
Wow.
Dude, that's awesome.
yeah.
If your
That's so
brain
cool.
hears something enough, it'll eventually believe it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I think that's so cool too, because like people don't really know your background, but it's like you've gone to youth group here and stuff. Like it's not like, this is your first year getting to like hear Pastor Dustin speak about things, or Des and Randall. It's like they're like just so like heart centric, like beautiful, and how they express. And it's just like it's amazing, like what you just said. It's like amazing. You can still be in the culture and like be submerged in it.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's just like, oh, I get it. Like it clicks, and
Yeah.
that's amazing. That's so cool. I love knowing that about you.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah.
It's about time he gets on the mic.
Yeah.
He doesn't talk much, but when he
I
does,
know him.
profound.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to share mine before you share yours.
Go for it.
Because I mean, I don't necessarily always talk at this part, but I think, God's been doing something in my heart this week, and I can't quite put my finger on it, but it's been like a renewed sense of like mission
Yeah.
and excitement in like, I don't know, just what he's doing on the earth, what he's doing through you guys. It was so cool. Like I started out my sermon because I preached to an online audience this week, and it was so cool starting out my sermon, getting to be like, hey, if you've lost faith in the next generation, like I've got a group of people that will renew it, because it's just, I think that's been the cool part of this year, of getting to spend time around you guys and just watching you week after week dispel any like negative stuff about like Gen Z or, people in their teenage years or their young 20s. It's just like, no, we're going to crush that. And so I don't know. I'm just super excited about it, but there's an excitement, like it's not like a carnal one. It's like a spiritual one. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. There's like, it's like a quickening of the Holy Spirit. So it's been really cool.
That's actually awesome, because mine is similar.
Yeah.
We went to the Avoda roundtable event the other day, or Saturday, and one of the things they were talking about was having a mission, and specifically it was more along the lines of, you guys want to help me out with this?
What are you looking for?
I don't know.
Well, I know
What do
you're
you need help with?
like obviously
We would
Sorry,
love,
guys, I don't
we
have
would
notes.
love to help you, but
like they
I
were
don't know.
talking about doing stuff on mission. You have to have a purpose. The purpose.
Talking about a movement.
Yes, thank you. Oh my gosh, that was the word.
Movement,
So the
not
difference
mission.
between like an actual movement versus just like a product, or a product
Yeah.
versus a mission, things like that.
Yeah.
And with that language, kind of reframing how I think about my life. Am I just doing this to produce something?
Oh, okay.
Like, am I just doing this just because, or am I trying to actually achieve something? Am I trying to bring something valuable into my life and into this world? And so I've been sitting on that a little bit with like, what is my mission? What is the movement that God has put in my heart? So I've been sitting on that, and just it's a conversation in progress, learning about what God wants me to do and where to go. But it's been a lot of like mission. I don't really have words for it either. So it's just fun that you say that.
I think it's cool is like sometimes God just like sparks something.
Yeah.
And so it's like the fire's lit, but we don't, there's not necessarily language behind it yet.
Yeah.
Or like even the beginning, but it's like, I got something in there, right? It's like something's about to light up. And so it's kind of that feeling for me. And I don't know. It might be prophetic. But I just feel like there's something shifting in our nation with our generations in particular, like that the millennial and Gen Z and Gen Alpha. It's like there's something shifting in our generations, and even this thing of like, I think I was talking about this in class, but it's like we're kind of sick of the skepticism, sick of having to like, it's like trying to figure out if anything's cool before we do it, and I think that's going to be a cool thing on like a revival or like reformation in our culture. I think we're going to see a lot of people know Jesus in the next 10 years. Yeah. Because it's like, because of people like you. Yeah. So it's so cool.
Well, I think what's really cool about that too is that at least what I've experienced within Gen Z is everybody wants to know the truth. Everybody wants to know what the purpose of this whole thing is. It's not, we don't want to keep continuing in the cycles in the corporate world and like all these things. It's actually funny how it reflects in the job market too. Yeah. Like it's being harder and harder to hire people because they don't want to do worthless jobs. Yeah. And I think that's part of like God's going to use that in so many ways. Yeah. Like the passion and desire for truth and purpose and meaning. Yeah. I think it's going to be so cool to watch how God like directions that. So, yeah.
That's a word. All right, so this is kind of this is usually like a wrap-up point. Not a wrap-up point, but like we're not ending. But the last question. So, and I'm kind of asking this because this is everyone's first time on the podcast. So, if you look over the course of the year, like, yeah, I know. It's a lot going in there. But like, what's your highlight or what's been something that was, hey, this has been super important to me, or this has been, kind of an overarching thing that God's done in my life over the course of this last 6 months, 7 months, something like that.
I can go because I definitely know the answer to this.
Oh, that noted.
What was that? I actually turned my phone off. I don't have my notes. I don't have notes for this. I haven't gone on the notes at all yet.
She's just breathing.
I've been breathing this whole time. So for me, I think the biggest work that I've seen God do in my life has been definitely in my identity. I have seen more progress both personally and spiritually in my time here than I have, like, probably ever. Maybe it has to do with the vulnerability. I don't know. But it's been really cool to go from, I was in this place before school where I was like, I don't know if I want to do this whole thing anymore. Like, I know who God is, but I don't know if I want to do this thing. I don't know if I can get back to that love that I had. And it's been really cool how God has used that, like that desire, kind of like what I was talking about this generation and the desire for truth, that desire for truth and the desire for meaning and purpose. God has used that to direction my identity. And just like working through, learning more about the biblical context and the scripture and the way that God works throughout the entirety of the Bible, learning about that and how that also applies to me personally. Yeah. And we had our whole emotions month, as we like to affectionately call it.
I think we're doing, I think we're heart health.
That month. Healthy family, healthy heart.
It was emotional health and healthy family. Wide eyes. But it's very wordy. Yeah, and I was terrified for that month.
I really enjoyed that month.
Yeah. But I deeply enjoyed it. Oh my gosh.
You're like, they didn't make me preach a sermon that month.
Yeah, exactly. Way more enjoyable this month.
Oh my goodness.
That's amazing.
But I definitely think going over these different things, like it's been a collection of all that we've learned that's really built into my identity and allowed me to kind of relax and not be as pent up with all the things that I was pent up with, especially like mental health things.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Anybody else over?
What was the question again? Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. So over the course of this year, like at school, like what's been like an overarching thing that God's done in your life, or like what's been the highlight of the year for you?
For me, I think it was more church and community.
Mm-hmm.
So I think people ask me a lot, like my friends, they ask me like, what is so good about Hope UC, and like what like sets it apart. And this is kind of off topic.
This is not off topic. I know this is great.
Okay.
Oh, maybe the next thing you're gonna say.
Yeah. No, they ask me what is different about Hope UC, and I always answer them and say like the leadership and the community is what makes it different. And so I've really come to appreciate like people like Pastor Tom, because I feel like they bring.
Yeah.
Like, I really, really appreciate him because they bring stability. People that have been walking in the Spirit for that long bring like stability into the whole community, in leadership in the community. And so that's something I've come to realize, like, wow, like it's because of people like him, the Rocks, that we're able to like have this leadership in this community.
Yeah. That's such good insight. Yeah, and I think the cool thing too is like Pastor Tom, Pastor Diana, Pastor Jim and Sherry Weedman, even like, you know, Pastor Dustin, and then, you know, people like Elliot that are just part of the congregation. But it's like some of these older people that have been walking with the Lord for a long time, also like just not being willing to separate over like dumb stuff, right?
Yeah.
And or even important stuff. It's like, no, I'm actually we're gonna fight to stay together.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the cool parts too. That's why we get to do a lot of what we do, is because these guys are like, no, we'd rather go far with each other than fast alone, you know. And so I think that's cool. Yeah, I thought that was on topic.
Yeah,
that's great.
Probably been the biggest thing for me, is like realizing some of that, and like the importance of the community and the church, and like the leadership and what the sacrifices they've made and the things they've done so we can have this.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
That's
awesome.
That wasn't very personal.
Oh, well, no, it is. I think so.
Yeah.
I felt it. I was like, ooh, it warmed my little heart. I'm talking about Pastor Tom.
You felt
I was like,
connected.
oh,
Did your heart grow like 3 sizes or whatever?
3 sizes.
Well,
I de-grinched.
Yeah, you de-grinched.
So,
You're looking a little less green today.
thank you. I appreciate that.
Of course.
Yeah. Okay.
You're looking good today.
Oh, I have a green shirt on.
Yes, you
Yeah,
are.
Seth told me I was losing weight, and I was like, I still feel fat. And he
I
goes,
tried.
and he was like, I don't think we should always go off what we feel. He like coached me. I was like, thank you.
No, but you look good, man.
Thanks.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
okay.
Today you were like very
I did the hair
vibrant.
today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
It looks good. Yeah.
No
Yeah.
hat.
I like your eyebrows. Are those real?
They're
No, did you line those up?
Do you think? Well, I think my wife has to like go at them every once in a while. She
okay.
like
Nice.
weed whacks them every
Okay, 'cause
once in a while.
I notice eyebrows.
job.
Eyebrows now because Sage did mine.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
yeah, dude. That's how you know. That's how
As a
you
man
know
who's
you're in a
lined up
serious
now.
relationship. They start doing your eyebrows. You better watch
If
out.
a man has good eyebrows, sorry ladies, he's probably taken.
Oh yeah, that's
Dean?
good work.
Dean's got some good ones.
yeah. Dean's got some good natural eyebrows.
He's probably secretly dating.
Yeah, we didn't know it. He's like, I've had a girlfriend for the last 4 years.
Yeah.
He's
I'm
actually married.
He finds out something new
Married.
every
I have
day.
2 children. Okay.
my
No, that's not
Whoa.
true.
Not true, not true.
Not true.
19. That
He
was-
He's
is
like 19.
eligible.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, true.
Drew's
Yeah.
married.
Okay. Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
What was you? Yeah.
Sorry, Dean.
What's your big?
That's all good.
Yeah.
That's all
No,
good.
dude. It was
No,
good.
that was good.
It was,
That was
I mean,
amazing.
an excellent off track thing.
It was a good
Uh,
observation.
Yeah. Beautiful eyebrows. Can we get
Both
Can we
of
get
us.
in on that? Yeah.
On you?
I don't know. I just can
No,
appreciate
I'm
some
not.
good eyebrows now that I like see them and like know like.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow.
Do that.
No.
I also recognize people's eyebrows.
Oh,
Oh,
there's
what's up,
Jack.
Oh.
Bye, Jack.
Bye, Jack. He's not gonna be able to close the door.
Yeah.
He didn't close the door.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what's your big thing
That's so.
besides your sweet eyebrows?
Mm-hmm. That
I'm sorry.
so
Edit that one out.
distracting. You're
Take
so
that out.
distracting.
No, that's in. Okay.
No, take it out.
Continue.
To be honest, that just gives me more time to think because feel like there's so much that's happened this year, but one of the main things that is a key takeaway is, along with the vulnerability and the people I'm around, I would say community. I mean, it's pretty much identity in community.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of taking
Preach.
both yours. Sorry about that.
That's good.
We excuse it.
I think I forget day to day who I am to the friends around me. I mean, it might also be I'm an only child. That's a fun fact. So of course, I don't know how it is with siblings, if that's any different. But
Yeah.
for me, not being around anybody but my parents for like a couple days, it's like I forget sometimes without people being around me. I mean, my parents are very good about that, but I do sometimes still forget. Oh yeah, to my friends, I am this person. And whenever I'm around them, I make sure to be that person. And so making sure on the days off from not being around them, not being around community as much, oh yeah, I'm still that person. I can't stop who I am just because I'm not around those people. And so, yeah, that's been something that's really been on my mind and on my heart also.
That's awesome, man.
Nice.
What a good.
That's cool.
This is a good one. Like I loved hearing from you guys. We had just this was honestly probably I think our like deepest one so far.
That's
so,
awesome.
Like, why
yeah,
are we
you
going
guys
so
are just
deep?
like deep wells. You know, it's great. Yeah. So.
Can you clip that? Loop it a couple times.
Yeah. Anybody like we're kind of wrapping, but any final thoughts? Anything that you want to
I didn't get to read any of my notes.
communicate to the
Aw.
people? You just want to go down them one by one?
No. There was something that Dustin
Swedish-
said the other day
Swedish
that
quote.
I thought
Call
was
from my dad.
awesome.
Okay.
You answer it live. No, there's something Dustin said that I thought was really cool. He was talking about like losing grace in seasons and that being a good sign, like that you probably are shifting seasons. And that's something I've been sitting on a lot. I keep saying that. I need more vocabulary. But that's something I've thought about a lot in like, it has been a good indicator for me that God is shifting where I'm going is because I put everything into everything that I do.
Yeah.
And so when I stopped doing that, I realized like, oh, maybe it's time for a change. Maybe there's something going on here. But I just thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well,
I don't know. I'm really excited for this month to be over. Communication is tough. And like,
yeah.
And
Oh my
like the
goodness.
sermon prep and everything is tough.
Yeah.
It's been very stressful.
You've been battling.
Yeah, I have.
You've been battling, but
It's
it's good.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Huh?
Change isn't uncomfortable. Is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, and just, whenever, I think the same thing I always try to remind myself that anytime you do something for the first time, it's going to feel, it's going to kind of suck.
Yeah.
No,
I think so.
That
I think
gives
it's gonna
me
kind
a-
of suck.
Yeah,
Like,
I think,
everyone's so
but
excited. I'm
it's
like,
not
probably
even
gonna
that.
suck.
It's just the feeling of it. It's not. I think it'll be. I think the sermon will go a lot better than you think, but the prep and the time getting up there is what it's. That's the feeling of like, I'm uncomfortable. I'm using a muscle that I haven't
like,
used.
how do you like deal with that feeling? Like,
And you just gotta kind of just like
Just
do it.
embrace
I mean, like,
it.
how do you do it when you're doing like conditioning for a sport, right? It's like you just run until you puke, right? And I think this is the. But I think this is the same
about
thing,
that.
right? It's like if you're doing something that's uncomfortable, it's as long as it's not harmful, it's making you better.
I think a sport is more something you like grow into, and it's more gradual.
Mm-hmm.
Like this month is like we're preaching sermons, and like you got like so it hasn't been like you can grow into it.
Yeah, yeah.
as
You don't
much.
start preaching when you're 5,
Right,
like
exactly.
T-ball.
Unless
right?
you do.
Yeah, unless Sage told me that she was doing them in the mirror when she was a little kid,
Yeah,
so
that's
she
true.
should be
That's
rocking
awesome.
Oh
it.
yeah, she will.
Cool. Well, this was episode 3, filmed. Hopefully, all our film got done the right way. So
Mm-hmm.
episode 3, if hope you see discipleship school.
Discipleship.
Cue the outro.
We are the outro.
No.